results from our survey of employers and hiring managers in the IT sector across the U.S. We're really excited to be sharing this with you as part of our commitment to helping candidates find the best jobs available and getting insights into what is happening in today's job market. As previously mentioned, my name is David Brown, and I'm the Executive Vice President of IT and the leader of our U.S. IT business. I've been in the IT staffing business for 18 years and been with the company for the past 11 years. A little bit of information about today. We'll have you for about 20 minutes to share the results of the survey, and then we'll have 10 minutes or so at the end to answer questions. You can send questions as we go along or wait until the end, and we'll cover as many as possible. Please send your questions via the chat function on the right-hand side, either directly to me, David Brown, or to the Hayes WebEx host. Just a little bit about the survey before we start. This report is designed to give you insights into the IT labor market, such as market confidence of employers and how this confidence is impacting hiring plans for both flexible and full-time staff, what areas are most in demand and where employers are finding it most difficult to recruit, creating more opportunity and choice for candidates, to answer whether employers are increasing salaries and experiencing wage pressures, what employers are willing to pay more for, so we'll provide you with an insight into the skills that are in demand and employer expectations when hiring for their advanced or senior roles. Plus, we'll provide some insights into how to advance your career based on what employers are looking for. And finally, we'll summarize the key findings and provide some key recommendations from this report. Please note that what is presented by me today is just a snapshot of the report. For the full report, please go to hayes-us.com/IT news, and you can request the full report there. Okay, so just a quick snapshot of the survey respondents. Today's webinar is specifically about the IT industry. So we have pulled the responses from 300 hiring managers, HR managers, and leaders working in IT across 12 different industries across the U.S. So all of the statistics that we're going to share are based on the respondents from these 300 people. A keynote just to set the stage, that 58% of the IT employer respondents say that the U.S. suffers from a skills shortage, and of those, 87% say that the shortage is negatively impacting their IT project implementation. And as we all know, technology is becoming bigger and bigger, and you would be hard-pressed to find an organization who isn't investing in technology right now, which creates a very exciting market for candidates with much job choice and a lot of opportunity. My advice right off the bat is to understand that the best job is relative to you. Having a picture of what you want to achieve long-term is essential, especially in a market that is so rich with opportunity. Defining your goals ahead of time before you start searching, in our opinion, is essential to ensure that you're building a career path that is going to help you achieve your long-term goals. So a quick snapshot of the IT job market. IT employers' confidence in the economic stability is relatively high. Business activity forecasts are optimistic, resulting in hefty hiring plans for IT professionals, both on the full-time and the flexible staffing side. Employers are feeling wage pressure but still plan to increase salaries to attract top talent. And broader business knowledge is increasingly sought after as professionals move beyond a technical role to a strategic and advisory one. So let's start by looking at employers' market confidence and what this means for you as an IT candidate. So we'll start with the feelings about the economy in general and whether people feel it would strengthen, weaken, or remain the same. The sentiment is relatively conservative, with 49% of employers believing that the economy will remain static for the next 6 to 12 months. But on a positive note, 39% anticipate that it will strengthen. Overall, IT employers are confident in the U.S. market. Unemployment remains low, the economy is growing, and with the U.S. dollar doing well, we're in a good position for business growth. How is this sentiment impacting business growth? Well, looking at the last 3 to 6 months, 51% of employers cited that their business activity levels increased, where only 16% said that it decreased. And looking ahead at the next 3 to 6 months, the view is even more optimistic, as 60% say their business activity will increase. So how does this translate into hiring? Well, business intelligence and security top the list of in-demand areas. 38% of respondents say that they are focused on business intelligence and big data initiatives. 30% are focused on security, and 20% say that cloud is their main focus in the next 6 months. And this remains very consistent with what we see in the market every day. As I mentioned at the start, employers are citing that they are feeling the effects of the skills shortage, and the areas where they are seeing this most are in development, security, BI, and leadership roles. So candidates in these areas will most likely have more job selection, especially at the more advanced or senior levels. Now, when we look at the skills shortage, employers say that the #1 reason for the shortage is the time it takes for qualification. In fact, all the top reasons given related to training and development, from the lack of training and professional development to the poor quality of training available. Employers are addressing this themselves, with 80% of our respondents saying that they are offering training to full-time staff and 30% offering it to contractors. In addition, many candidates are taking their own training, or taking training into their own hands as well. So if there's an area you want to know about or a skill you don't have and you don't want for an employer to fund it, take the time, spend the money, go out and do some training on your own. We highly recommend that. So moving on to some compensation highlights. What effect is all of this having on salary levels? Well, we've got a pretty steady level of employers who've increased salaries for full-time staff in the past 3 to 6 months, 53% of those, which we're mainly attributing to a retention mechanism. Now, looking at the flex numbers, contract and temporary staff are already driving high salaries, but still 44% of employers increase their rates, again, to attract these hard-to-find candidates. And as we look out into the next 3 to 6 months, 51% of employer respondents plan to increase salaries for their full-time staff, and we see a jump of employers, 42%, looking to increase salaries for flexible staff. You're breaking this down one level further. The top 5 areas employers are considering offering higher salaries on, and this is true on both the flexible and full-time side, are in software development, security, leadership positions, general management, and cloud computing. Now, if I take that even a level deeper, let's look at where employers are willing to adjust salaries on a case-by-case basis to get candidates with the right skills. Looking at the contract side specifically, most employers are not as willing to adjust salaries for particular skill sets, which may indicate that they view the planned increases as already enough to bring pay rates to a competitive level. However, again, in those same areas, security, leadership and management, business intelligence, big data, employers are willing to increase their compensation offerings to attract flex candidates in these areas. Looking at the full-time side, there's a definite trend of employers wanting to grow their full-time team. As you can see, a larger proportion of employers are willing to increase salaries on that side of the house. Top areas here, again, much of the same areas: management, security, software development, cloud, and business intelligence. One thing that this highlights for me is the importance of being able to demonstrate your business knowledge and your ability to bridge the gap between the technical, the business, leadership, and management skills, which are highly sought after in full-time roles, and how IT integrates with and enhances the business. If you look beyond technology goals to drive business results, you will be even more sought after by employers. Now, just breaking down the insights a little bit further, there is fluctuation between the markets. For example, in the telecom industry, we're seeing that employers are more willing to increase salaries in the next 3 to 6 months for full-time staff than they are for flexible staff. Whereas in banking and financial services, employers looking at both full-time and flexible staff are largely holding steady on their current offerings. There's some additional staffing insights that we get from this. Well, now that the market confidence and drive for business activity is resulting in significant hiring plans, as 80% of our respondents plan to increase their headcount in the next 3 to 6 months, if we look back at the past 3 to 6 months, the majority of hiring was at the advanced skill level or senior level, primarily, again, in those same key areas: development, infrastructure, business intelligence, project management, and software testing. So if we look forward in the next 3 to 6 months, the areas employers are planning on hiring for, 54% of employer respondents intend to increase their development headcount, with 1/3 hiring specifically application developers, followed by project managers, infrastructure, and testing. So how do you get ahead in the market? Well, again, the first step is knowing what you're looking for, as opposed to being perhaps persuaded by outside influences. Every search is unique, and understanding your own unique qualifications is, of course, the starting point. But the following section will give you some insights on what we believe gives you the competitive edge. So first, an interesting note, 91% of employer respondents say they consult with their IT staff to support their business plan. So IT employers are looking for top candidates who can not only come in and do the requirements, but those that can assess the situation and apply requirements to a business need or strategy. If you look on the top left-hand side, these are areas that employers say could be improved today based on proper consultation with their IT departments. Security at the top is the obvious one, but also in the top 3 are business development and sales. These are 2 key operational areas that technology could and does support. Being able to provide solutions to meet organizational goals and at the end of the day drive productivity will provide you with more opportunities, especially at the senior levels. So as you look down at the bottom left, you'll see here that across the board, demonstrating your soft skills is very to extremely important, whether you are contract or full-time. And when asked, employers cited work ethic as the #1 soft skill you must possess, followed by communication skills. So being in a candidate short market, you may think with so much opportunity that having the right soft skills might not actually matter. Well, not only will it give you an upper leg, it will actually help you earn more as well. For example, 80% of employers said that they would offer a higher salary for a candidate that possesses the right soft skills. 15% would be willing to pay 3 to 6% more. 23% said they would be willing to pay 6 to 10% more for a candidate with the right soft skills. And 21% said they'd be willing to increase salaries by more than 10%. So there is a significant premium being paid to those people with the right soft skills. Employers also want someone who's up to date and who is committed to their career growth. Although having skills in all of the latest technology is not always possible, employers are willing to pay more to those that can demonstrate their relevancy in those newer technical skill sets. 33% are willing to pay 3 to 6% more for someone with the latest technical skills, while 25% of respondents are willing to pay 6 to 10% more. So keeping up to date with the latest skills, if that's something that you do in the workplace or if that's something that you do on your own time, will definitely pay off when looking at your next position. So some recommendations that we were able to glean from all of this data. Well, first of all, the observation that demand for IT talent remains very high, but that doesn't mean you can become complacent about career planning and professional development. Staying ahead of demand by building your strategic understanding is vitally important. Companies need IT professionals who can contribute to planning and drive results. Business intelligence, security, and cloud top business priority. IT employers are focusing on BI, security, and cloud in the next few months. BI and big data represent an untapped resource for many companies and as an opportunity to better connect business action and results. So IT professionals who understand how data can drive business decisions are being highly sought after at this point. Number 2, employers are willing to pay a premium for the right soft skills. 4 out of 5 employers would offer higher compensation for candidates with those right soft skills. The most sought after skills include a positive attitude, a strong work ethic, and very good communication skills. Last, IT professionals are taking responsibility for their own professional development. Almost all the IT professionals are learning new technical skills, and 88% are developing their soft skills. The majority are doing it for their career growth and personal interests, and many are paying for their own training. This shows that IT professionals are choosing to invest in their own knowledge and capabilities to boost their career growth, either internally or externally. So how do you accelerate your career towards leadership or becoming an in-demand consultant? Well, develop broader business understanding. Technical knowledge and expertise has gotten you a long way in your career, but if you want to be able to command the highest rates and be an in-demand consultant, take the time to develop your business acumen. Prove you can add value by developing IT strategy and leveraging technology to improve productivity, efficiency, and results. Number 2, invest in professional development. Staying up with technology is important. Don't forget to look beyond technical skills. Soft skills become increasingly important as you progress, and employers are willing to pay more of those with a combination of work ethic, communication skills, and commercial understanding who can bridge the gap between IT and the business. Don't neglect this area of professional development. Consider finding a mentor, seeking peer-reviewed feedback, or getting public speaking experience. And future-proof your career. What will the next in-demand technology or software be? How are you going to stay ahead? The IT industry moves fast, and your in-demand skills today could be obsolete next year. Stay on top of your industry trends and look for roles that will stretch your ability, such as hybrid or combination roles. For example, if you're a Java developer, start looking to maximize your value in the market by searching for roles that give you big data experience or with NoSQL or the mean stack framework. These will increase your marketability as a candidate now and prepare you for the shift to a big data role if desired down the road. So that's really all I've got to cover today. As I mentioned at the beginning, please send any questions that you have through to me using the chat function. The full report will be released on Monday, as you can request it once again from hayes-us.com/IT-news, or you can email us at recruit-us@hayes.com. All right, so we'll go ahead and open it up for any questions. All right, starting to see a couple of questions come through now. What are the specific industries where you're seeing more demand? Honestly, that really depends on the region, but it's really across the board. Technology is a part of every business now, big companies, small companies, really across any type of industry vertical. So we're seeing it pretty much everywhere at this point. Okay, next question. If people with soft skills are earning more, how do you improve your skills and how do you prove them? That's a great question. Well, number one, get feedback. Get feedback from your peers. Get feedback from your current employer. Get feedback from a mentor. Understand your strengths and weaknesses. Practice. Role play different types of situations. Work through business cases. Talk to your friends. Talk to your peers about the business side of the solution that you're trying to solve and not just the technology side of it. Get experience public speaking. Volunteer to do things in your current job that will stretch your skill set or maybe outside of the normal day in and day out responsibilities. Those are all things that you can do to try to improve on those skill sets. And then constantly be looking for feedback and validation from your employer and from your coworkers. Ask them. I know you had mentioned before that you thought I needed to get better at X, Y, and Z. I've really been working at that. How am I doing? Establish a regular feedback loop. You know, those are really some key things that you can do to try to improve your soft skills. And then ask recruiters when you're looking for jobs. Ask them when they're interviewing you, how did I do? How do you think I answered these questions? What do you think that I should do differently? What should I improve on? You know, recruiters really have their finger on the pulse of the market, and they understand how employers and candidates both think. And asking them those questions, you can really glean a lot of information from them. What types of benefits are employers offering? Well, the top answers from the survey are flexible hours. That seems to be one that's really important. Health benefits, and I'll add to that, affordable health benefits is becoming more and more important as medical rates continue to rise. You know, things like parking or parking subsidies, any type of bonus plans, extra vacation time. Those are the main ones that we saw. For contract jobs, the top answers that we received were ability to work from home. That one is really big, and I can tell you that firsthand, when we get employers that are willing to allow their contractors to work from home, that just completely opens up the network of candidates that are available. Secondary to that was flexible hours, and then of course there would be your raise. Is there a difference between benefits between different industries? Yeah, what we've seen and from the survey results is that IT-specific, like IT-related companies and telecommunication companies are most likely to offer flexible work options, and banking, financial institutions have been a little less likely to offer that, but may compensate in other ways with better health benefits, better vacation packages, higher salaries in some cases. So are there any specific locations that you're seeing spikes in hiring activity? Not really. We're seeing it everywhere. As I mentioned a couple of times throughout the report, what we're seeing is really across the board in every geography and almost every industry, companies are hiring right now, and they're also finding that there are not enough candidates. So there's very much a supply and demand, a demand or a supply shortage that we're seeing in every market that we operate in. So that's pretty much across the U.S. Some additional questions. It's really hard to get into the IT field. People who just graduated and not have rock-solid IT experience. What is your advice for people who are just getting started in the business? Wow, that's a great question. A couple of different things I would say to that. Number one is look for a job that is going to offer you the most upside with opportunity to learn, and maybe not the job that you ideally dream about doing right now, or in the role that you feel like is what you deserve at this point, but look for an opportunity for a company to learn from. Look at the technical skill sets that exist in that company. Talk to people that have moved up in the organization. Reach out to people. Reach out to people on LinkedIn. Understand what the company offers you from a long-term perspective, and get your foot in the door. Just get your foot in the door, and you'll get the opportunity to learn. Second thing that I would tell you is go out and do some additional skill testing, or I'm sorry, not skill testing, but skill-based instruction, where you can get certifications. You can do. There are different code camps that are out there now. There are different types of organizations out there that will provide basic computer programming skill sets, or if you wanted to get involved with project management, you can go to the local PMP or the PMO chapter in your city, PMI chapter in your city. So there are different things that you can do to try to enhance your skill set a little bit, but most importantly, I would tell you, and we see this all the time with people that are coming in with no experience, who have a very specific idea of what they want to do. Broaden out your search. Look for a company that will provide you with the long-term opportunity to learn and to get your foot in the door first. And in that second or third job, then I would focus on being more selective from there. What advice do you have for people who want to stretch their skills but their employers won't let them? Currently, the employers are not ready to give an opportunity for the people who are changing or shifting their careers slightly. Wow, that's a really good question. First of all, I would just in a general response here, maybe start to wonder a little bit about the long-term viability of the company that I'm working with. If I'm looking to take on more, looking to stretch into new skill sets, and the company doesn't want to support me with that. But if that is the case, and they are not willing to support you in stretching your skill set, then I go back to recommending that you do self-study. We have a lot of companies that we work with that will, one of the criteria that they have is they look for people that do things on their own, could be at home at night or on the weekends, or they have an interest in something outside of what they do in their daily job. So if you're going to your employer and asking them for the opportunity to learn new skills and they're telling you that we really don't have the bandwidth or the opportunity for you to do that, then I would recommend, A, go and pick that up on your own, start doing some self-study. There are a million different things out there to look at, courses, things that you could do, tests that you can do, online things, classes that you can go to, books that you can read. And then number two, maybe just start to think about, am I in the right place that's going to foster my long-term career growth? And if not, then reach out to your local recruiter and maybe they can help you find that next job. I think that is all the time that we have for questions at this point. Caitlin, do you have anything else?
Yes, thanks, Dave. That was fantastic. That is all the time that we've got for today, but anyone who wants to reach out offline is welcome to contact us at that email address or request the guide at the website hayes-us.com/itnews, which will be launched on Monday. You'll be able to rewatch this webinar later today on our website or on our YouTube channel if you're interested. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.